Well, it looks like Angel Reese. Well, it looks like she's just been caught in what could certainly be taken as in a lie. All right? All these things that she says she has dealt with over the last year, all these encounters of racism.
The moment Angel Reese leaned back in her chair during that routine press conference, the script behind weeks of controversy quietly unraveled in real time. What looked like just another post-game soundbite turned into a public admission that left league officials scrambling, media outlets humiliated, and an entire fan base fully vindicated. One slip of the tongue shattered a story that dominated headlines, hashtags, and heated debates across the basketball world.
Angel Reese, the most coddled, babied professional athlete in all of sports, continues to be the most babied and coddled professional athlete in all of sports, continues to have her peers say, "You go, girl. You be unapologetically yourself. Don't worry how rude, how arrogant, and how disrespectful you are. Don't worry about all the lies that you perpetrate. Don't worry about that."
At the heart of this twist sits the Indiana Fever community, once branded as villains, but now standing tall with the truth on their side. The hidden details behind Reese's confession and the failed investigation expose a lesson in how rumors feed fame while real facts get buried. For those who back the Fever's unwavering loyalty and want this truth to echo louder than any false narrative, dropping an "I've got the fever" in the comments cements that stance. Subscribing ensures the full story never stays buried again.
Remember the guy that I guess, was out there waiting for him supposedly, and when the team was coming out, and of course we saw footage of that, and there was nothing malicious to it whatsoever that anybody could see. And then of course the Indiana Fever fans were yelling racist things or making racist noises out around the court. WNBA did an investigation, found nothing.
What began as an ordinary Q&A session quickly morphed into a train wreck that even Reese's PR handlers couldn't salvage. Cameras captured every twitch, every pause, and most importantly, the unexpected slip that dismantled the carefully polished narrative surrounding supposed racist fan abuse. This wasn't the first time Reese painted herself as the victim of harsh treatment on and off the court.
It is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And the fact is that originally it's, oh yeah, we're looking towards everything. Then they had to double down. They actually redacted this statement. They redacted a statement. They redacted the statement saying we're looking at everything, saying no, we're actually not looking at most of the stuff. We're looking at a lie spread on social media that went viral. We are looking into a literal lie spread on social media that got spoken into fact. We're looking at a lie.
Her claims of being targeted by hostile crowds turned her into a symbol of resilience for some and a magnet for drama for others. But beneath that public armor hid contradictions begging to surface. During that infamous moment against the Liberty, the words fell out casually. No dramatic pause, no attempt to spin them back. Instantly, the contradiction spread like wildfire, with clips shared and dissected by thousands. A single candid admission clashed head-on with statements repeated in interviews on podcasts and splashed across headlines for weeks. This moment planted the seeds for a backlash that even the league couldn't contain.
The league is also taking a big L because there's no apologies to any fans whatsoever on this totally BS statement released by the WNBA. Yeah, you found nothing. That's great. That's accurate. Guess who told you would find nothing? The entire Indiana Fever fan base said you weren't going to find anything. But this league that has never turned a profit decided to accuse their own fans.
When Angel Reese's allegations first caught fire online, the WNBA faced mounting pressure to show action. The league wasted no time announcing an extensive investigation into claims that Indiana Fever fans hurled racist insults during a heated matchup against the Chicago Sky. Officials reviewed countless hours of security footage, interviewed fans seated closest to the court, and questioned staff from both teams.
I didn't think these things would be a topic this year. It's certainly not at this point, but here we go again.
Because now Indiana Fever players, all right, are getting called into question. Indiana Fever fans are getting called into question today We got one post on here where somebody's literally calling. They're talking about there should be a boycott. That's what it really is of the All-Star game over player safety.
No stone was left unturned, or so the press releases claim. After weeks of combing through video and audio recordings from multiple angles, the verdict landed with a thud. No credible evidence found, no witnesses confirming anything, no apology offered for dragging thousands of fans through the mud. What remained was a costly witch-hunt-chasing shadows that never existed. Behind the scenes, the league's leadership knew the truth didn't match the noise online, but public pressure forced them to act anyway. In the end, the exhaustive probe only highlighted how quickly unverified rumors become reality in a sport desperate for headlines. Amid the frenzy of speculation and angry hashtags, a quiet detail surfaced that turned heads. Chicago Sky's own coach, Tyler Marsh, confessed that neither he nor his players ever heard a single hateful word during that fateful game in Indiana. His revelation slipped out in a calm post-game exchange that contradicted every viral tweet and outraged soundbite demanding justice.
One investigation with the cheeses with an investigation.
Yeah, I think we agree. I think we're in compliance with them, with the league, and obviously there's no room or space in our game for hate. So we're complying with everything that's going on.
Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened?
I think when everyone else did. I think that it's something that we heard about, and so again, we're just forthcoming with anything that the league is able to do investigation-wise.
If racist chants truly poison the arena atmosphere, how did the visiting team's leader remain oblivious? Marsh admitted that the entire Sky squad discovered the allegations the same way millions did, scrolling social media after boarding the team bus. No heated complaint during the match, no sideline arguments with officials, no reports filed with arena security. The coach's blank surprise exposed a storyline manufactured far from the hardwood. This stunning admission drew attention to a simple fact. Rumors shouted into a digital echo chamber can feel louder than truth whispered courtside. His honesty quietly confirmed what the investigation would later reveal. There was never anything to find.
Three-time BET Sports Woman of the Year, Angel Reese, says she doesn't pay attention to what folks say about her online because no one has ever said a negative word about her in person. Uh-oh. So what have you been talking about for the last 17 or 18 months? Uh-oh. I hope she realizes she just admitted this and did so on camera with audio. Yeah, nobody's ever going to let her let this down now.
One anonymous claim on social media sparked the entire fiasco, spreading through basketball Twitter and mainstream feeds with dizzying speed. No video clip surfaced, no audio recording proved anything, yet outrage snowballed overnight. Fans who never sat inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse reposted hearsay as gospel truth, tagging sports outlets and influencers until major networks felt pressure to echo the noise. Each retweet and reaction fueled fresh accusations, drowning out calmer voices asking for proof.
For you, Angel, tonight you were extremely efficient, played with a lot of poise and confidence tonight. For all the scrutiny you do receive online and stuff of that nature, what kind of messages a game like this send to them, as well as just the kind of momentum that this can build for you throughout the season?
Yeah, I obviously don't worry about what's going on online. I get so much love in person. I haven't ever had a negative encounter in person ever. And I've been going through this for 3 years. I've never had an encounter in person that was negative. So people online are behind the keyboard for a reason, and I don't worry about that stuff. I trust my work. My teammates trust me. And I was telling Milla today, like, she felt like she was having a rough day, and I was like, how many times have I had a rough day? And you picked me up. So don't get down on yourself. I know my teammates have my back, my coaches have my back, and that's all that really matters. I don't have to prove anything to anybody but myself and my teammates.
Second row on the left.
Angel, I know tonight was not as you expected. Can I say something? This is
that's wild.
In a matter of hours, Indiana Fever supporters found themselves vilified by strangers who'd never watched a full game. The power of viral falsehoods became impossible to ignore as screenshots replaced facts. Networks hungry for controversy chose clicks over caution, broadcasting sensational headlines without verifying the basics. This wildfire of misinformation laid bare a harsh reality for athletes and fans alike. Once a narrative catches fire online, no amount of retraction can fully douse the flames. Long after the league cleared the air, some corners of the internet still cling to the lie.
Quote, I get so much love in person, I've never had a negative counter in person ever. What did the league just go through 3 weeks ago? Over what was supposed to have been this race hoax, it turned out to be a race hoax, but this big situation in which the Indiana Fever fans were hollering racist remarks and making racist noises, and the league, 10 days this went on. This fiasco went on, and Angel Reese just admitted to the world she's never encountered a single negative person at all.
While the league scrambled behind closed doors and the internet screamed for accountability, Angel Reese herself became the final nail in her own narrative's coffin. Sitting comfortably before the press, she answered routine questions with practiced ease until a single, careless sentence turned the room ice cold. With cameras rolling and recorders humming, Reese claimed she had never experienced a single negative encounter with a fan in person, not once in 3 years of high-profile games. This simple statement collided violently with her earlier tales of being cornered in hotel lobbies, targeted with slurs at the free throw line, and needing extra security for protection.
Angel Reese, she goes on and she talks about how she doesn't hear about the outside noise, how she's never had a negative encounter in real life, never had a negative encounter in real life. But Ben, there's no way. There's no way she's never had a negative encounter, you see? You see, this is proof of the negative encounter. The WNBA even conducted an investigation about this negative encounter. No way Angel Reese said that. No way she did.
Reporters in a room exchanged puzzled glances, knowing they just heard the real story slip out unscripted. As the clip hit social media, disbelief erupted. The so-called victim of relentless abuse had casually revealed it never happened the way headlines insisted. Reese's own voice undercut weeks of victimhood theater, proving that even the slickest PR machine can't edit out an unguarded truth.
Angel Reese doesn't care about y'all. It is what it is. She's never had a bad encounter in real life, never had a bad interaction with a fan in real life. Then what was the whole point of this WNBA sham investigation? If you've never had a bad encounter with a fan in real life, if you've never had a bad interaction with a fan in real life, then why not just come out, earn yourself some brownie points, and say, come on, nothing took place here. These are just some Twitter trolls. These are my Reese's Pieces making up news just to keep me relevant. Why didn't you just come out and say that, Angel Reese? You'd probably get a little bit more, what's that word? Respect. Doing something honorable like that.
In the days following Reese's on-camera contradiction, the Chicago Sky organization scrambled to put the genie back in the bottle. Team handlers tightened her media schedule, cut post-game conferences short, and shadowed her every word, hoping to prevent another slip that could further erode what was left of her carefully crafted image. Reporters noticed these sudden restrictions and whispered about the unusual level of control being exercised over a single player's interactions.
I mean, what in the world is happening here? So Outkick would go on and say, hold up, let's rewind. Last June, Angel Reese claimed that a white Caitlin Clark fan blocked her and her teammates from entering a team hotel while calling her, quote, a ghetto bitch. Last month, Reese said she had a rough week because she heard a Fever fan shout racial slurs while she shot free throws. Now she says no one has ever said a mean word to her in person.
One-on-one interviews were quietly canceled or postponed, with publicists citing vague scheduling conflicts that insiders knew were pure damage control. The more the Sky's PR team tried to clamp down, the more suspicious the situation looked. Fans and journalists alike began to question why so much effort was needed if the truth was supposedly on Reese's side.
But it's more fun pushing a lie. It's more fun playing along, keeping your name in the news, keeping your name in the media, keeping your name around drama. It's what you love. It's what you enjoy the best. You don't pay attention to keyboard warriors. you don't pay attention to the internet. Well, why would we respond to people that we don't care about? Why would we subtweet about people that you don't care about if their opinions don't matter?
Instead of calming the controversy, the heavy-handed censorship confirmed what many suspected. Behind closed doors, the team knew the narrative had fallen apart and hoped silence could bury the embarrassment before the next game.
The WNBA investigated both Reese's accusations and found nothing. In fact, well, I've called her the Bubba Smollett or the, Jussie Reese, Jussie Smollett, Bubba Wallace. I mean, she's right there now. She's in that company with false race hoaxes.
The trouble for Angel Reese didn't stop at one contradictory interview. Basketball fans, armed with receipts and screenshots, unearthed a trail of posts showing how often Reese thrived on stirring drama online. Clips of her mocking Caitlin Clark after last year's championship, TikToks poking fun at rivals, and smug comments about embracing the villain roll resurfaced in endless threads. One especially biting clip showed her shrugging off criticism with the now infamous line, "Hating pays too." That mantra, once framed as fearless confidence, now looked like a blueprint for manipulating controversies to stay in the spotlight.
But this was put out right here. Again, hell, I thought it was fake originally. And I guess it's not. I mean, it's crazy. White girl running from the fade. There's Angel Reese right there. There's, of course, Caitlin Clark doing the responsible thing, not wanting to tank her public relations. Like Angel Reese walking away after the take foul the other night, or the other day against the Chicago Sky.
Her past social media antics clashed with the teary-eyed victim narrative pushed when the fake racism scandal first broke. The same voice that cried for protection weeks ago had also bragged about baiting haters for clout. Fans who once gave her the benefit of the doubt connected these dots and realized the contradictions were not isolated accidents. They were part of a pattern. In the court of public opinion, old receipts speak louder than rehearsed apologies.
Well, actually, somebody that comes out and says hating pays too, I would think that that's exactly how she carries herself. Somebody that comes out and says, hey, hating pays too, yeah, that's kind of how Angel Reese carries herself. Somebody who goes out of their way and says, I want to be the villain. They're watching because of me too.
While Reese's contradictions played on endless loop across fan pages, mainstream sports networks faced a reckoning of their own. Anchors who once discussed racist fan behavior, as fact now found themselves awkwardly backtracking live on air.
She accused the Indiana Fever fan base of being racist. They investigated it. They said those accusations were false. The least that she could do is apologize to our great state and the fans that show up at these games and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Obviously, she's not going to do that.
Segments that once ran dramatic headlines about player safety suddenly had to acknowledge the league's official report. Zero evidence, no witnesses, no wrongdoing. ESPN, which leaned heavily into the controversy to fill primetime slots, watched credibility slip as viewers mocked the sudden about-face. The same pundits who chastised Indiana Fever fans were now forced to admit they never verified the claims before broadcasting them as truth.
I'm also happy that the WNBA treated the matter with the utmost seriousness, followed through with the investigation, and I understand that having a platform comes with a responsibility, and I do not take that lightly. So as our league continues to grow, I am going to grow with it. And I am so committed to be better in how I share perspectives and grow alongside the game that I truly love and adore. I mean, some of my favorite memories as a pro was playing in Indiana, and I truly believe that WNBA, we have the most passionate fans, and I'm grateful for our community. I hope you know that's who I am. All right. Love you guys. Thank you.
Audiences weren't forgiving. Calls for formal apologies poured in, with many demanding that major sports outlets show the same energy correcting the record as they did in flaming it. This public embarrassment served as a brutal reminder that chasing outrage for clicks has consequences, especially when the real story turns out to be built on air. For these networks, trust once broken proves hard to rebuild.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are the best gift that the WNBA has ever had. I mean, and the fans that show up and pack that place, I mean, sell out crowds every time Caitlin Clark plays is so great for Indiana, but it's good for the WNBA. But how dare you accuse our fans, the Hoosiers that show up at these games, being racist when they're not?
In the end, the Indiana Fever fan base emerged stronger than ever, standing as living proof that truth can outlast viral fiction. Sellout crowds continue to pack arenas wherever Caitlin Clark plays, a testament to the loyalty and passion that no rumor could tarnish. Meanwhile, Reese's confession on live TV ensured the so-called scandal collapsed under its own weight. The league's exhaustive investigation, the coach's candid admission, and the undeniable receipts all pointed to one conclusion: the narrative was never real.
Don't accuse our fans of being racist. I mean, that's the kind of garbage that gets thrown around all the time. It wasn't true. The investigation proved it, and there was no outcome of it. There was no apology. Apologize to the fans.
Beyond the headlines, this saga exposed how easily social media can twist a rumor into reality, and how willing some outlets remain to trade facts for outrage. Yet through the noise, the Fever community chose restraint, letting evidence do the talking while the world watched a lie unravel. Each future matchup with the Chicago Sky will carry echoes of this fiasco, a reminder of what happens when false victimhood meets real accountability. Dropping "I've got the fever" in the comments signals standing with truth over gossip. Liking, subscribing, and staying tuned keeps this community stronger than any fake headline ever could.